Week 2 hit different. The initial adrenaline was gone. The righteous anger had faded. What was left was this vast, empty landscape of ordinary moments that used to be shared and were now just mine. Brutally, beautifully, terrifyingly mine. I woke up on a Tuesday, seems like Tuesdays were destined to be significant in this story, and realized I didn't know who I was without her. 5 years is a long time, long enough to merge identities, long enough to forget where you end and someone else begins. I'd become we and forgotten how to be me, so I started rebuilding, from scratch, from the foundation up. First thing, I changed the locks. Symbolic, sure, but necessary. She still had a key, and I needed to know she couldn't just walk back in. Not into my house, not into my life. Physical boundaries create mental ones. It sounds simple, but it mattered. Every time I closed that door, I was choosing safety, choosing sovereignty over my own space. Next, I rearranged the furniture, moved the couch, changed where the TV sat, hung different art. My friends thought I was crazy, but I wasn't. I was erasing the ghost, creating new patterns, new sightlines, new memories in spaces that had been haunted by old ones. The apartment looked weird for a while. Nothing quite fit, but weird is honest, weird is real, and I was done with things that looked perfect but felt wrong. I started therapy. Should have done it years ago, but pride and stubbornness and 1,000 other excuses kept me away. My therapist, Dr. Martinez, was this no-nonsense woman in her 60s who didn't let me wallow. "Tell me about your childhood relationship with trust," she said in our first session. And just like that, we were unpacking decades. Turns out I'd been choosing unavailable people since I learned what choosing meant. Turns out I'd been confusing intensity for intimacy. Turns out I'd been so afraid of abandonment that I'd abandoned myself first, made myself small and convenient and easy to leave. "You didn't cause her betrayal," Dr. Martinez said, "but you trained yourself to ignore it. That's the work, not forgiving her. Forgiving yourself for not listening to what you already knew." That hit like a truck. I started journaling. Every morning. Stream of consciousness. No editing, no judgment. Just thoughts spilling onto paper like a wound being cleaned out. Some entries were angry. Some were sad. Some were surprisingly hopeful. I wrote letters I'd never send. Conversations I'd never have. Truths I'd never spoken out loud. And somewhere in all that writing, I found him. The guy I used to be before I became who I thought she needed. He was still there, buried, waiting. He liked hiking. I'd stopped because she preferred brunch. He liked reading philosophy. I'd stopped because she thought it was pretentious. He liked silence. I'd stopped because she needed constant entertainment. Slowly, carefully, I started inviting him back. Started doing things that felt like me, not like us. I joined a gym. Not to get revenge body, though I'd be lying if I said that wasn't a small motivator, but because I needed to be in my body again. To feel strong in some tangible way when everything else felt weak. The physical exertion helped. Something about pushing muscles to failure and then watching them rebuild stronger. Metaphor much? I reconnected with friends I'd neglected. Jake, obviously, but others too. The guys from college I'd slowly drifted from. The co-workers I'd kept at arm's length because she didn't like when I had plans without her. I grabbed beers, played basketball, had conversations that didn't revolve around my trauma. Remembered that I existed outside of this one catastrophic relationship. One night, maybe week 4, I went out with the guys. Nothing crazy, just a bar, some pool, normal people doing normal things. A woman approached me, pretty, confident, interested. She smiled. I smiled back. We talked. It was easy, natural. For 20 minutes, I forgot about the betrayal, forgot about the pain, just existed in a moment of uncomplicated connection. Then I felt it, the guilt, like I was betraying. Who? The woman who betrayed me? That made no sense. But there it was. This learned response, this trained behavior that said I wasn't allowed to move on. Wasn't allowed to be happy. Had to stay in mourning for a relationship that had been dead long before I buried it. I excused myself. Went outside. called Dr. Martinez, even though it was late. "The guilt is your loyalty misfiring," she said. "You're a loyal person. That's beautiful. But you're being loyal to someone who was disloyal to you. Your heart hasn't caught up to your head yet. Be patient with yourself." I went back inside, found the woman, apologized for ghosting mid-conversation, told her I was recently out of something complicated and probably not ready for anything new. She understood, gave me her number anyway. "When you're ready," she said. "If you're ready." That night felt like progress. Like maybe I wasn't completely broken, just bent. And bent things can straighten with time and effort and a whole lot of grace. The reconstruction wasn't linear. Some days I felt strong, powerful, like I dodged a bullet and emerged a warrior. Other days I felt shattered, lost, like I'd never be whole again. Both were true. Both were allowed to be true. Healing isn't a straight line, it's a spiral. You loop back around to the same pain but from a higher vantage point. Each pass-through hurts less, teaches more. I started setting standards. For myself, for future relationships, for how I wanted to be treated and how I'd allow people to exist in my life. No more tolerance for disrespect disguised as love. No more accepting crumbs and calling it a feast. No more confusing potential with reality. I made a list, non-negotiables, things that weren't up for debate or compromise. Honesty, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's ugly, even when it costs something. Consistency, actions matching words, behavior reflecting promises, follow through as standard, not exception. Respect, for my time, my boundaries, my intuition, my humanity. Reciprocity, equal effort, mutual investment, two people building, not one person carrying. The list felt radical because my last relationship had none of these things. I'd been surviving on hope and potential while the foundation rotted underneath. Never again. I also started a wins journal. Every day, one thing I did right. One moment of strength. One choice that honored who I was becoming. Some days, it was big. Didn't respond to her fourth apology text. Other days, it was small. Got out of bed, brushed teeth, showed up to work. Both counted. All progress is progress. Week 6, I ran into her at the grocery store, inevitable in a small town. She was in the produce section, looking tired. He wasn't with her. Probably already gone. I could have guessed that timeline. The affair was exciting because it was forbidden. Once it became real, once the fantasy crashed into reality, it probably lost its shine fast. She saw me. Froze. I nodded. Kept walking. Grabbed my groceries like she was just another stranger. Because that's what she'd become. Someone I used to know. Someone who used to matter. Past tense. Permanently. I saw her start to approach, then stop herself. Some lesson learned, maybe. Some boundary finally respected. I checked out, loaded my car, drove home, and I felt okay. Not destroyed. Not triggered. Just okay. That alone felt like victory. The reconstruction wasn't about becoming someone new. It was about becoming myself again. The version of me that existed before I learned to twist myself into shapes that fit someone else's needs. It was about unlearning all the bad habits I'd picked up trying to love someone who wasn't available for love. And slowly, brick by brick, moment by moment, choice by choice, I was building something better. Not a relationship. Not yet. Maybe not for a long time. But a life. A real one. An honest one. One where the foundation was solid because it was built on truth instead of hope. One where the architect was me, not someone else's vision of who I should be. That's what reconstruction looks like. Messy, slow, uncomfortable, but mine. Finally, beautifully, completely mine.